Greetings. It is day 9 of the SEGAthon, the penultimate day, in fact, of our little shindig, at least for the main block. At the moment, we have 2 incentive blocks unlocked, and hopefully, by the time we're done with today and tomorrow, we may even have a 3rd. But that depends on you guys, but this is what we're going to try and do. We're going to play you some Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap, and I will be playing it on the remake for 2 reasons. The first being that it is widescreen, the second being that it's a little bit more responsive in trying to emulate the Master System version, typically speaking. Alrighty then, so I actually have Tanner with me this time around to join me in this foray into the lands of Wonder Boy, and of course we'll be playing on normal, and we'll be playing as the lad.
As a reminder, we do have donations going, so you can donate via the donate button that I'm going to throw in the chat in a sec. We have a bunch of incentives that we'll be reading off, so you'll be able to donate for that, as well as if you want us to do something, read something, we will do it so long as it's appropriate. But I'm going to throw that into the... That's the wrong link. Oh, no. Let me grab the right link. There we go.
Yeah, I could in theory play this on the real Master System, but the problem is I lack the component cables to be able to have my capture card take footage from it. Otherwise, I'd probably totally do that.
So a few of the incentives you can, or not incentives, but a bid wars going on that you can still put your money towards. We do have the Sonic Mania Plus Mania Mode Character Choice Bid War, which has rather heated up surprisingly since the last time I looked at it, with now Sonic being in the lead with $289 and, of course, 69 cents. Trailing just slightly behind, less than $10, is Mighty with $272. Just kidding, that is more than $10. Math is hard. And then after that is Tails with $217. And after that is Knuckles with $187. And no one seems to love Ray the Flying Squirrel. It's so sad. It's such a shame. $31. We also have a bid war going on for me playing Knights, 2 different bid wars. The first one being, am I playing the Saturn version or the PS2 version, with Saturn leading with $75 over $31 with PS2, as well as which version of Dreams will Richie sing at the end. The regular version is at $2, while the Sweet Snow version from the sequel is at $10, so you can go and change those so easily if you want.
Very good, very good. So, I should probably ask this, seeing as you have joined me for this, do you have any experience with the Wonder Boy series, or is this kind of your first time getting a proper look at it?
I think it was in, and this is weird, but when they started being added to the Virtual Console on the Wii, Nintendo Power did a whole thing about all of them. So obviously my first time hearing about them was in a Nintendo magazine. And I remember just seeing all the different ones and with all the different titles and just being very confused with how they're all... the game audio turned itself back up. You have to turn it down.
Oh yeah, okay.
It just being a bit weird with how all the different games had so many different titles, and it was quite confusing because there was Wonder Boy, and isn't there another one called Monster Boy? Is that a different one?
There is a Monster Boy coming out in the first quarter of 2019, and that'll be like the first game that I suppose is meant to be like a follow-on or a spiritual successor to Wonder Boy, rather than a flat-out remake of one of the games.
Okay, yeah, because I just remember seeing the game series and being very confused here. Let me see here. Okay, so the Wonder Boy series has... There's Wonder Boy in Monsterland, Wonder Boy 3 Monster's Lair, Wonder Boy 3 The Dragon's Trap. Those are separate games?
Yes, I do believe so.
There's 2 games labeled 3?
Yeah, I believe one of them follows like a slightly different tangent, but I think they take place in roughly the same time or something like that.
Wow, that's weird. Then there's Wonder Boy in Monster World. And then Monster World 4. And then the game was later adapted as Adventure Island.
Adventure Island was what they opted to do when Hudson Soft was responsible for taking the Wonder Boy games to the US market, I believe. So
okay,
all of the Adventure Island games, I believe, are pretty much a American thing.
Okay. We got our first donation of the day. Even though I probably won't be present for the live stream when it takes place, I'm donating this towards Mighty for Sonic Mania. I like donations and charity and stuff. $10. Thank you. I think you said in the chat that was Schmadam77.
Hey.
Thanks, Schmadam.
Schmadam is a regular when I live stream, although I haven't done it recently, but hopefully life will calm down for a while and I'll be able to start streaming again. Hopefully just in time, because there's a lot of stuff I want to get done, hopefully, for the end of August. One of them being 2 Point Hospital when that comes out. I want to try and play through the whole of that.
Sonic and Mighty the gap is closing. There is now only a $7 difference between Sonic and Mighty, with Sonic still slightly winning. All we need is just a little bit more for that red old armadillo to get his time in the sun again.
Oh yes. Hopefully he gets there, because I want the Knuckles Chaotix team. That'll be a very fun way to revisit Mania, I think.
Oh, for sure. So, I've heard about this game having the art style switch button, and is it just literally a button you can press?
Yeah, you can pretty much do it at any point in the game you want, so I could just do that, and this is how the remake visuals look. You can also do the same for the music, I believe, although I'm not sure offhand which button that is.
That is so cool.
Oh yeah, the remake visuals are absolutely amazing, and probably stand as like being some of like the best art I've seen in a video game for quite some time. They really did a good job kind of making it their own.
Even just the fact that it is entirely just a button press and can happen at any time, it's just, oh, it's so, I don't even get how to do that with sprites, because like there's things going on there that would normally prevent that. That's crazy. That's cool.
It is very, very cool. Probably one of my favorite parts about the remake, to be honest with you. But they literally just took like the Master System cartridge and just pretty much rebuilt it from the ground up. Alright, Goblin Mail. I think that is an item we want, so maybe I'll try and make some more money.
Oh, this pig is so good.
Oh yes, the smoking pig is an icon.
I think I saw him. There was another side. Music was clicking in left or right stick, someone said.
Yes, that's right. So, there you go. This is like what the remake would typically sound like. And we'll just change that back around, because I am going to play this mostly on retro, since we do have a full playthrough of all the remake music and visuals on the YouTube channel. Which I would highly encourage you to check out, because it is a rather nice playthrough that I am very, very proud of.
It's astonishing how much retro games are improved by widescreen. That is a small thing that when I was a wee baby, I didn't really get. I'm like, what's the big deal? It's just widescreen. But like, it really changed it, because you get more time to react to enemies approaching you. That's a huge thing. And that's why I saw someone saying, well, why is the Taxman version of Sonic the best one if you can just mod in all the other changes? And I'm like, the widescreen alone makes it the best versions of the game.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Alrighty. I think if we enter and exit one more time, we should be able to afford the Goblin Mail. That'll give us a decent amount of defense, because when you're playing through as the Lizard Man, it's usually the most difficult part of the game, just because you're kind of weak. Like, don't get me wrong, the range attack helps, but your defense is kind of pants, and it really shows when you can, like, die to 3 or 4 hits, let's just say.
So even though this is a remake, did they balance the actual gameplay at all there?
Kind of. Well, they've added extra difficulties. They added a hard mode to the game where you're actually on a timer, so the curse will actually gradually deal damage to you, like every 30 seconds, unless you pick up a heart piece, which will reset the timer. So it kind of puts a timer on your head as well, and it kind of forces you to kind of press the issue and rush through the game rather than try and go for it in a brisk and casual manner. And then
that seems good for replays and not so much first-time playthroughs.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more put in there to give the people that have played this game a lot in the past something to try out. I think there's actually an even harder difficulty they added in a patch as well, but I haven't seen or heard much of it. But it's kind of the same thing where you got the timer, and much like in hard mode, they scale up the enemies as well. So you have 3 different enemy colors in the game. You have red, green, and blue. And the blue ones tend to be the toughest one of the lot. Now let's see here. What was the button for the menu again? Oop, nope. I don't want share. No, go away. Be gone. There we go.
Right, so we have a $6.90 donation from Flame, who simply says, "For Mighty, tilde. And with that, Mighty and Sonic are tied."
Ooh. Well, yeah, the Mania race has been a very interesting one to see, because Crazy even came in with a huge donation for Tails, which kind of put him in the running for a while.
Yes.
And then Mighty got a bit of a push, and Sonic has kind of had a constant following, where they've been usually keeping him at least near the top or at the top.
That's surprising. I'm gonna be real. Wouldn't expect that, but you know what? Hey, they put the money where they want.
Exactly. We're just here to fulfill our end of the bargain.
OJ Legend says, "I saw that Velvetora's avatar, Volk. Good stuff."
Oh, yes.
He said the other S word.
I do like me some Disgaea, especially the 4th one. 4th was very entertaining. Although 5 was very good too, don't get me wrong. Although I do prefer how...
I got 5 on the Switch there, and I've been playing it a little bit, and just, you know, on and off, and yeah, it's just a fun game to play. And then I watched the speed run of it at SGDQ, and oh man, oh wow, that game can be busted so fast.
I know, it's amazing how far you can get with just one character. Alright, so,
yeah, pretty much.
Mithril... I don't think we can use a shield, but I'll buy it anyway since we have the cash to spare. Oh yeah, we can use the shield, so it gives us a bit of defense, but we don't actually get any use out of it. Until, we are no longer the Lizard Man. Okay, what else can we do here? Not much for the moment, so... Oh wait, I know what we can do. We can go to the nurse's office, because, we need some healing.
Nurses are good at that, except, you know, it's actually modern medicine that heals you, but according to video games, all it takes is just to find a nurse, and they heal you.
Yep.
Are we a lizard or a dragon?
We are a lizard, but we do breathe fire, so, I guess maybe we're a salamander?
For some reason, Japan really likes to associate lizards, specifically salamanders, with fire. It's a bit weird. You'll just always see the association of, like, what was it? It's always, like, you'll play an old video game, and, like, the final fire summon will be, like, salamander. And you're like, that's just a small lizard. That's not a dragon. Why is this thing above a dragon?
Yeah, it's always a bit weird like that, and then of course it's not a dragon unless it has wings for a lot of these things. Alright.
And then there's the difference between a dragon and a wyvern, which is like, are the wings attached to the arms, or are the wings on its back? And it's like, that you're getting pedantic. I'm just gonna call them all dragons.
Yep. Don't say that to the Monster Hunter fans, by the way, otherwise they will hang you.
Oh no, that's almost exclusively who I'm referring to in this instance.
Oh yeah, so like you got the difference between like the brute wyverns and the winged ones, etc., etc.
I hate that. I'm like, does it look like a dragon? I'll call it a dragon. They're like, no, it's a wyvern. And then you got Kieran, who is literally just an electric unicorn, and he's classified as a dragon.
Yeah, an elder dragon at that. I always did find that a bit weird, but you know what? The game is fantastic, so I don't really question it too much.
Oh yeah, no, I love Monster Hunter, but it's still just like there's some stuff where I'm like,
it's very silly.
I'm not a big fan of this terminology.
Yeah, especially when you have dragons that are literally just absolutely huge snakes as well in a couple of games.
Flame says since Gen 7 sheep, or Gen 6 sheep are dragons too. Well, that's because of the name of, what's-his-face, the sheep dude who mega evolves. I can't think of it right now. His name in Japanese is Denryu, so it's just a pun. Just a pun. I forget his name. Ampharos, yeah. Ampharos' name is Denryu, Ryu meaning dragon, so it's a bit of a play on words.
There we go, fireballs for days. We should probably switch those at some point so we can actually make some use out of them. Well, otherwise they're not going to get used.
I've been told salamanders being associated with fire started in Europe. It's more of a European thing. Well, interesting. And then Flame says, so Tanner, would you say he's a bad dragon? Flame, don't make me use my non-existent mod powers to mute you for a bit.
For a bit, you know he's serious.
I will will them into existence.
Now, thankfully here the clouds fly low enough that if you time a good jumping attack, you can actually take them out. Which is very nice. But first of all, before we go in the pyramid, we want to scale the pyramid. Because there's bonus stuff over there, and we like bonus stuff here.
Can you ban mods? Well, I can't ban anyone, actually, but I will will it into existence.
Yeah, only Tom can ban mods, so unfortunately that's not a thing that's done very easily. Because that would require unmodding them first and then doing so, I think. Or maybe he can just cut the middleman and do it, I don't know. So yeah, the weird ogre pricks are a little bit annoying, especially at this stage, when they do shit tons of damage to you. But thankfully they drop a lot of money, so oftentimes it is worth the trouble. Yeah, that's a fault. Flame could actually ban you, so you better be careful, my dude.
That is true, that is true. But then who will post to donate in the chat? Like this. Haha.
Didn't figure that one, did you?
I think that's... Who's that? Oh, that's Deimos. Hey, Deimos asks, hey, didn't you stream this back when you were streaming frequently, Volk?
Yes, when it first came out, in fact. Because I was extremely excited for this game, and actually one of the game's developer actually stopped by the stream, which was rather unreal. Sebastian Rose, I think it was, or something like that. It's a French name, I know that much for certain. But he also was on the couch for the speedrun of this game during SGTQ.
Oh, cool.
It was either SGTQ or AGDQ. I honestly don't know which one it was. I just know he was present for one of them for a speedrun of this game.
Okay, why are we talking about anime thighs in the chat now, guys? Come on, this is for charity.
This is also for Wonder Boy. There's no anime here.
Well, I mean, unless you switch over to the art style, then it's kind of anime. So, Volk, any idea what board games you want to do when you start that thing back up again?
Yes, I have a couple of ideas. One of them being Seven Wonders Duel. I've been having a lot of fun with the main version of Seven Wonders, and since it's just a me and Tom thing, Seven Wonders Duel sounds like it would be a good time. And fairly simple to teach.
And this is with the, I'm guessing, tabletop simulator and not the actual physical board game?
Yeah.
Makes
the only way to do it. There is Board Game Arena as well, but being able to interact with a more realistic-looking board is generally better, I think. Even though you don't get the same functionality.
There's also filming at your house with a physical board game, but hey, who does that?
Well, that also involves Tom actually going all the way from Nottingham down to where I live.
Okay, how far is that?
No less than 5 hours. At least.
Okay, you know what? That's a bit. That's more than I thought.
Yeah, it would take a significant amount of money and time to make that happen. But then that would mean I can use my massive board game collection at my disposal, so it would have advantages, but yeah, definitely not doable.
I have so many board games. I should probably start up a board game series just to get through them and play the ones that I've gotten and never ever touched.
I think I've at least played most of the games, all the games in my collection, although in varying degrees. That's a shame. I ended up falling down the hole prematurely. Actually, I wonder if I can work my way back up there. Nah, it's a bit too late now. But there is a secret door over there.
May I remind you of all of Medieval during the SEGAthon? No, please don't. Please don't.
That was a fun run, though.
Fun is one word. I only played it through about half of Medieval practicing that, and it's pretty obvious. Did the YouTube upload that actually get restricted? No, it takes a lot more than that to get banned.
True that. At least even though YouTube is questionable at the best of times.
You can discuss anything on YouTube, you just can't show it.
And down goes the pig dragon. Well, it's kind of like a pig zombie dragon. It's a bit weird. Try and get as much of this moolah as I can.
It's important. Money is used for buying goods and services.
Indeed. And goods and services involve sword, shield, and armor, so, you know, it's definitely worth it.
Whoa, hey, whoa, screen, okay. Warn me before you go seizure mode. Whoa.
Yeah, another reason why I prefer this to the Master System version is I think it's a little bit easier to control yourself when you're Mouse Man, which is the character we're playing as right this second.
Okay, I was going to say, why can just baby version of you walk on walls? And that's because I guess you're a mouse. Okay. I didn't really get it. Does the seizure vision still show up in the remake visuals?
Pretty sure it does.
That's bad.
Well, not really. I mean, it's a lot more tame, because obviously it's not 8-bit, so they have a lot more flexibility with the visual side of things. So it's not nearly as harmful.
Fair enough. I remember the remake, when they remade Guacamelee, they totally had to tone that, the craziness down. Also, yeah, there's a bit of an uncanny look-alike to Mickey Mouse with how you look.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now we got the dancing shield. We can now be the dancing queen.
Mamma Mia 2, featuring JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I wish I made that up. It's real, apparently.
It's a surprisingly large amount of stuff is real. And I mean that in the sense that, what the hell am I watching kind of deal. Alright.
For those who don't know, in the new Mamma Mia 2, which is sadly not called Mamma Mia 2 Papa Pia, the JoJo appears in it for just like a second, but it appears in it nonetheless.
I see. But then again, if they did the Papa Pia thing like you suggested, would the third movie have to be called Baby Got the Diarrhea?
Yes. Yes, it would. Mamma Mia 3, Baby Got the Diarrhea would be potential movie of the year winner. Volk, can we see what the mouse band looks like in the remake visuals real quick?
Yep, sure. Let me just get through this section here, because it is a little bit tricky. There's a fair amount of platforming involved.
This looks kind of... I mean, at least you got that Toon Link shield, which seems to stop projectiles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a cute mouse. I like that.
Indeed. Alright, now, if I remember correctly, there is a secret entrance around here somewhere. I believe it is up here.
It's really interesting that, like, the graphic change is so big, it almost looks... like, it looks super different. It's not like pressing the button in like Halo Anniversary Collection, seeing the difference between, Halo and Halo HD. Like, that's a big change.
Oh yeah, it is a pretty major deal.
That's really cool.
Oh, I'm just trying to remember where this damn secret part is. I'm pretty sure it was up here somewhere, but doesn't seem to be working, which either means I've got entirely the wrong idea, or it is somewhere else.
Maybe you have to kill them all.
No, I don't have to kill any of these enemies. It's just making sure I press up in the right place, and then that opens up a secret door. Maybe it's a second row down. You can mix and match the sound and visuals. Yes, you absolutely can. So if you wanted modern visuals but with retro sounds, you can do so. Or if you wanted retro visuals with the fancy pants new graphic, well, if you want the retro vision with the fancy new sound, then that is a thing you can do.
Someone says it's there, jump down, or jump up at the top corner.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember now, I think. But yeah, this is so much easier to walk along the walls compared to the Master System version. It is so fiddly.
Yeah, wall running in old games, they didn't really get how to do it, I feel, for a while. It was, Blaster Master had horrible controls for wall running on the NES there, which they then fixed in the Blaster Master Zero remake, kind of. It's a remake prequel thing, kind of.
It's a thing, we know that much.
I'm a big fan of when they don't just make a sequel, they do something super different.
Right,
man, these guys are so much better than that pair doing Binary Domain on Saturday. You know what? Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to doing commentary. And ours is just making noises to fill time.
Indeed. Is something I have spent at least 3 years of training in order to perfect.
I've been doing it for almost 7 now.
Calm down there.
As a reminder, we are still having the tie between Sonic and Mighty. Get your donations in so that you can try and usurp the position.
There's still plenty of time too. The run ain't till tomorrow, so you got today and pretty much Crazy Taxi and... What's after Crazy Taxi, actually? Because I know there's like one more game before Mania.
Taxi is Jet Set Radio. Today we got Wonder Boy now, Sonic Generations HD, and then Jet Set Radio Future, which is slightly different. I should have clarified.
Indeedy.
Not a sequel, but a alternate retelling. Oh hey, it's Elliot. Hi Elliot, what's up, dude?
Who is this Elliot, then?
From Super Gaming Brothers.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I'm not as familiar with Super Gaming Brothers as I would like to be.
Oh, come on, man.
So, I can actually cheese these guys with the boomerang, which is actually preferred because you don't end up taking damage.
Okay, but this is an old-school video game. Is it cheesing, or is it playing it creatively?
I say a mix of both. I mean, there are some, I think some unintended strats that you can do in the Master System version, which were actually fixed in the remake. One of them being how the Tasmanian sword works, where you can actually take on animal forms that you haven't even unlocked yet and actually complete the game a lot quicker.
That sounds like a problem, so I could see them changing that, yeah. I say if it gets changed in a future version, it's totally an exploit. But if it gets re-released once and it's still in there, then that is
a feature.
Intended. That's a feature.
But yeah, they changed how it works slightly. So whilst you can use it in the way that you used to be able to, you don't need a second controller plugged in just to use the special ability of it anymore. So you are free. You are free to use it basically as though it were just a standard weapon. So they fixed it in one regard, but with it they also hotfixed something that seemed to be a bit of a problem.
That's actually something that, like, I've heard every time they add more like plugins you can plug into a game. So whether it be another controller, whether it be a memory card, whether it be a Guitar Hero accessory, or like the Rock Band drum kit, game testing gets more and more difficult, because then you have to do totally different things for stuff. So it's like, for instance, oh, you know, what if you are playing, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts and plug in a Rock Band controller? Maybe that will blow up the game. If they don't have it, they don't know. We got two questions here. So first up, Elliot asks, what's the schedule for today? We got this, Sonic Generations and Jet Set Radio Future. And what is the current donation total? We are at $2,708.90. Can someone please donate at least 10 cents? I really want that to be fixed.
Now you said that, though, they're going to start donating really odd numbers. You do realize that,
we're going to get
you?
11 cents just to drive me nuts.
Okie dokie. I believe if we go down this way, we get bonus stuff.
Ooh,
so I'm going to go down this way
stuff is
first.
Always good. I do love how you play these old school games, and it's like, what do we do for enemies? Just throw an Oni in there, and then they're like, what do we do for the North American audiences? They'll know what Oni are eventually.
Well, I mean, it's a big-ass monster. I mean, you can't really go wrong. I don't think anyone is going to be like, what the hell is that? They'll just think,
yeah.
Oh shit, it's a scary cyclopean monster with one eye. What the hell? I must kill it immediately.
I know you can't donate under $1, but you can donate $1.10.
You can. You can also donate something like $3.71 if you really wanted to.
No! No! I'm gonna cry. Please.
Don't worry, I don't think anybody in the chat takes me seriously. Although there are some individuals who may take that to heart.
Even numbers, I need them. No! We got a $1.09 donation.
Well, to be fair, that does...
Tanner, smiley face from Flame.
Nice. Although that does make sense from a English standpoint, because if you think about prices for goods, a lot of the time it's like £1.99 or something like that, so... In that regard, it's pretty accurate.
So, please, can you please donate? Oh wait, did someone else? Okay, so we got a another donation, $1.79, which would have still put it over, but now it's just everything's gone to crap. So I don't care. There you go, Tanner. It's fixed.
It's not.
Also put it towards Sonic. So Sonic is now once again in the lead for the Sonic Mania bid war. The titular hedgehog must get the titular money, I guess. So let's see, what is he at now? I have to use a calculator to calculate these money here.
Good, we're putting it to work. This is what I like to see from my co-coms.
I was like, man, once I'm out of university, never gonna have to do math again. And lo and behold, here I am, doing math.
No, that's not how it works. You still have to do math. What you don't have to do is that ridiculous, like, algebra calculus bullshit, unless you're sort of into supercomputers or something like that, or quantum mathematics.
Well,
those are like the only
sad
instances where you need to know, like, what x plus y is equal to, if x was equal to a slice of pie and y was a wig.
Well, the sad thing is, I am now teaching math, so, oh well. Guess that's how it is. So our new donation total, which is it's the least even number I think is humanly possible. We are at $2,703.78. So it's just gone.
Yeah, these
Flame says statistics is the best maths. Okay, can I just say I hate the term maths? It's just more difficult to say. It's adding one more sound that just isn't necessary. It's just math. Singular. It's much easier. There's one math, and it's bad.
So is this going to be the day where everyone just starts donating odd numbers? Have we reached that point of the marathon now?
Schmadam says, I think we broke Tanner. Please, you didn't see my monkey ball run. I threw up me voice acting the story mode on YouTube as a highlight, and people were like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
I may have to watch that later. I don't think I caught that part of the monkey ball run. I kind of popped in for an hour or two, like halfway through.
It's something special because the story, it's Monkey Ball's 2 story, but they threw it into Monkey Ball Deluxe. It uses the word death way more than you think.
Huh.
Like, it's at one point, the monkeys get shrunk down and decide to tickle the bad guy. Don't ask. And he literally says, I'm going to die. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, it's wonderful. You can go watch that on the proper channel of Hellfire Comms, or on my channel, which I'm going to plug just here, Tanner of the North. So we got another donation here, $2.91. Tanner, I know how you feel about even numbers, so I fixed up that even number to an odd. Kappa, more to Sonic. Thanks, I guess.
Dodging fireballs like a champion, although I have to be careful. I am only on 1 heart. Things could get dicey very, very quickly if I'm not careful. But thankfully I have the boomerang, which is like probably one of the most OP weapons in the game. And technically speaking, it's not really a weapon, it's like a secondary use item.
You know what? I'm actually not even mad, because now our new donation total is $2,706.69. That is the only odd number I will accept. So we're good.
Hey.
Because I am a child. And Sonic is once again blazing past, getting a much higher donation total, which is, let me just do the math. He is now at $294.39, above Mighty at $289. There's about a $5 difference. You can change.
It'll be pretty easy to do as well.
Donate in Bitcoin. Hey, if you want to donate 1 Bitcoin, we'll take it, because isn't that like $5,000 right now? What's the current Bitcoin?
I don't know, there's so many at this point, I've kind of lost track.
Bitcoin? Oh my god, 1 Bitcoin right now is 10,754 Canadian dollars.
Okay, and approximately how many years does it take to get a single Bitcoin?
Well, the thing about Bitcoin is you can literally have 0.0001 of a Bitcoin. Like, there's no end value with like cents and stuff. So yeah, you can have a super tiny one.
It's like a Bitcoin that's like so small you can barely even see it in its physical form. It's like a molecule.
There is no physical form to a Bitcoin, right?
I know, but if like they ever gave it physical form, okay, like if they did like a pixel art of what like 0.001 Bitcoins would be, I guarantee it would be like a 16th of a single pixel, if that.
Flame says he's earned £12 since he invested. Oh wow. Cryptocurrency is weird. Yes, it is.
It is incredible.
I don't think anyone really gets it. It's just a thing that we accept exists.
Yep.
The weird thing is people can just make a cryptocurrency. Like, there's a meme coin, also seizures. Ow. It's gonna come up late on stream, but...
And just to show off the modern version as well, that's what Piranha Man looks like.
You know, he's curiously attractive for a fishman.
He's got sort of like that permanently puzzled expression on his face. It's just like,
It's a nice pout.
Although I have to say the retro version looks really damn cool. I love like the pattern on the fins and what have you.
No, yeah, the retro version, I actually really like how he looks there. Piranha Man. Sounds like a Mega Man boss.
Yeah, it kind of does. Although, to be fair, yeah, Piranha Man, although, depending on if it was Mega Man X, it would be something different, I'd imagine.
It would be, let me think of this, because it's always a weird sort of like... Nope, can't think of it off the top of my head.
Pants Piranha. It's just literally a piranha wearing a pair of jeans.
No, because they always like misname it. It would be like Pyrotechnic Piranha Rex or something like that.
That'd be kind of rad. Piranha Rex. Like, I'm not sure what other prefix you'd have on there, but Piranha Rex sounds badass.
It wouldn't be Piranha Rex. It would be Piranix, like piranha with just X at the end.
Maybe. Although I don't think that sounds nearly as epic.
Also, yes, please put Florida Man in the next Mega Man game.
Florida Man.
he just fights by like biting Mega Man's ear off. What was that recent one that was so bad? Florida Man Dragon Ball Z. It was hilarious. What was it? Here we go. This is the worst, the best worst news story ever, and it's now gone. But I just want to. Okay, here we go. I just want to read it. You know about Florida Man, right?
Oh yeah, I know of a legend that is Florida Man.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Florida Man is basically, because all of the news stories in Florida, they are allowed to tell all the details about it as possible. Meaning it's not just limited to Florida, it's actually, this stuff happens all across America, but it's because we know all the details that we can read about Florida Man and his many adventures. This one was quite possibly one of the best ones. Florida Man bites his brother's penis off after he walks in on his brother having sex with his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
Oh, wow.
I love Florida Man. He's the best.
It really is. I also remember, like, some of the ones that Jesse Cox ends up reading out on Cox and Crendor in the morning. How he got, like, Florida Man attempts to cash in check for $1.4 billion. And he wants to open an underwater Italian restaurant. But of course they wouldn't accept the check.
Here we go. I'm gonna get some of the best ones here. Florida Man goes fishing and catches a kilogram of marijuana.
A kilogram of marijuana. Nice.
Unable to wait until the 4th of July, Florida Man blows off his fingers with a firework a day early.
I'm sorry, but some of these are just tragically amusing.
Florida Man attacks partially blind person in knockoff minion costume.
What? Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Florida Man's actual job is riding around on a golf cart launching fireworks at birds. Oh, and I should say, these are all real stories. We're not making these up. These are real news stories. Oh, I love Florida Man. Donate for Florida Man.
Alright, so that was a little bit messier than I would like, but we managed to get through to the end. We also got an armor drop, which is curious. What did we actually get?
Florida Man cop claims Burger King put dirt in his food. Turns out to be seasoning. Oh, so good. Still not how I achieved greatness on a Sonic the Hedgehog themed bed, but hey, yeah, you know what? You know what? That news article, I don't even hate that one.
Now, the only weird thing is that the human form is the only one that can duck, and I believe Mouse Man's also the only one that can actually duck in this game.
Well, isn't Mouse Man kind of always ducking, like hitbox-wise?
Yeah, but for some reason he can crouch down even lower.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, lightning bolts. Nice. And... Huh. Apparently, it is sold out. Curious. Well, we can heal ourselves up. Oh, that's the reason why. I think we got it as a drop or something like that. That must have been what happened before. So, we got the dragon mail, which makes us immune to lava. I had no idea that could actually drop. I always thought you had to buy it, but turns out you don't. So we actually saved ourselves a bunch of cash with that.
Apparently, Lizard Man can duck.
Oh yeah, Lizard Man can duck as well. That's great. It's like one of his few quirks, I suppose. He is capable of ducking where the other creatures aren't able to. Like, apparently no... I think the reason why is because, I guess with Piranha Man, like, maybe he just doesn't have knees and they've taken that into consideration.
What? Look at his walk cycle. He very clearly doesn't have knees. He just kind of shimmies around.
It does like the MC Hammer. It's a...
I'm Piranha Man. I just shimmy around here.
Stop. Piranha time.
I'm not used to having feet, so I just shimmy around.
Swim in lava, because I don't give a damn. I'm going in hard. I'm going ham.
The other creatures can't comprehend the action of bending the knees ever so slightly.
But to be fair, I think I do prefer now with the Piranha Man, because if we could crouch, we wouldn't have the legendary MC Hammer maneuver. So I'm kind of glad that he doesn't have knees, because we wouldn't have this.
It is. I can't stop looking at his walk cycle. Like, it's the best thing now. It's just so shimmy.
It is so good.
Also, Flame just said, white people.
You know what? I'm not even going to deny it.
You know what? That's fair.
Yep, that's fine. I'll give it to him. No, the reason why a piranha can survive in lava is because we have the dragon mail, which allows us to swim in lava. I'm still floored we got that as a drop, by the way. Like, that just blows my mind. This is one of those games where, even after playing this for absolutely years, like, I can almost know this game off by heart. I'm still finding things that are just entirely new to me.
Let me see here if it says it can drop here. If we can get it. It just says here, purchase from the shop. Dragon Mail drop? Wonder Boy? Maybe?
Yeah, because I think it dropped off like a skeleton or one of those.
Oh, here we go.
Ghostly
The Dragon Mail drop is the only one with an 18% chance.
Is that good or bad in context?
That's pretty small, actually.
Oh, wow. And we got it like pretty much first time. Wow.
Blue Crabs had a chance to drop the Dragon Armor on the way to the Thunder Ring area. There is... Okay, here we go. This is crazy. There is one crab that has a 3 out of 16 chance of dropping it. So it is a small amount on a single enemy.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So yeah, there is a bunch of... You can get... Okay, so the items you can get with very small drops are the Shogun Blade, the Muramasa Blade, the Tasmanian Sword, the Shogun Shield, the Aqua Shield, the Master Shield. One of them always drops the Legendary Armor. The Shogun Lamellar, the Dragon Mail, and the Hades Armor are all very small chances of being dropped by single enemies.
That's incredible. We have been blessed by luck in this stream.
Cool beans.
I'm very happy with that. Can we break this block? Oh, hold up. Need to correct myself. Come on, you can do this. There we go. Now, can we actually afford anything in this shop? Ah, there we go. Muramasa Blade. I guess we can pick that up? Well, I can't quite remember what it does. Hold on. Oh yeah, Mouseman, 118 attack. I'm not sure if we really need it, but I can't remember how much attack he gives normally, so maybe we can pick it up. Yeah, go on then.
I'm checking to see here if any of them have special... There was a few that had special quantities, apparently, about them. Let's see here. So the Muramasa Blade. Special effect for the Muramasa Blade is... extremely powerful when used as Lion Man.
Oh yes, Lion Man as well. Okay, so we'll pick that up for later on. Call it a pre-order.
Yeah. Pre-order now at GameStop for the exclusive Flames of the Inquisition pre-order DLC download pack. GameStop, power to the players.
Come on, we can't do the shill yet. That's for Crazy Taxi.
Oh yeah.
Where we are playing with all the corporate ties included.
That's the best. I remember playing that back in the day and just being like, wait, is that actually just KFC? Yeah, okay. You've been told you'll want to head for the beach next as Piranha Man.
Yep. Indeed we do. But we need to get the magic sword as well whilst we are here.
Ooh, the magic sword. Is it the magical saber? Is that what it's called?
Yes, I believe so. Magical saber. We do actually need the sword for the final boss.
So, the magical saber creates breakable blocks when used on star blocks, has no real function other than opening the way to the last castle.
Yep, pretty much. But if we get it now, it saves us having to bend our asses backwards later.
Alright.
Alright, so we need to transform ourselves back, and thankfully there's a very easy way to do that. Thanks to the Thunder... it used to be a sword that could break blocks, but in the remake they've changed it so that it's a accessory that's always considered active.
Oh, that's nice. That's really good.
Oh yeah, it is a fantastic quality of life change. Alright, anyway, so let's just double check and make sure we got the most powerful sword we can use. We do. We'll get the Mithril Shield on, and the Shogun Lamellar, I guess. There we go. That should put us in a decent position defensively.
What is
our
Lamellar?
offense...
I'm looking it up.
I'm pretty sure it's just like a type of armor.
Let's see here. Lamellar armor is a type of body armor made from small rectangular plates of iron. Was used over a range of time periods in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and throughout Central and Eastern Asia, especially China, Japan, Mongolia, and Tibet. So it's sort of like when you imagine like chain samurai armor, like the like many layers of square pieces of samurai armor. That's what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And now you know.
Indeed we do.
Because if you don't learn something every day of your life, you are wasting your time.
Well, yeah,
So
I mean, I learned that the freaking dragon mail is a drop and can potentially save me thousands.
I've given the everyone watching a lesson, and now you don't have to learn anything today. You're done. You're set.
Yep, you're free. You can take the rest of the day off.
Unleash those shackles and just live life. Or
yes.
don't. Watch us play the game. That's probably the better thing.
Yes. Now, I believe there's a hidden area somewhere. I think it might actually be up here. Yep.
You know what? Shout out to octopus enemies in Japanese games, making them look extra delicious and extra not like a octopus.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that area there, it wasn't a secret area as such. It's actually a bonus area they added specifically for the remake and serves as sort of like a challenge room. They are incredibly difficult, so definitely don't go in there until you've beaten the game, otherwise you'll get your ass handed to you. Unless you are so confident in your gaming ability that you can just man mode it.
That's interesting. I like when they do that. It looks like an octillery. Well, that's just because that's how octopus apparently look like in Japan. Even though they don't have a mouth like that ever. They like to give them those mouths, which they don't have.
Yeah, it's true. Although I suppose it's easier that way.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain way of making sure something looks good aesthetically, and trying to be as accurate and realistic as possible isn't always the right way to go, if you want it to look presentable. I mean, especially where with 8-bit games, where it's a lot more difficult to get those details in a lot of the time. So rather than bastardizing it for the sake of trying to be as accurate as possible, sometimes it's better just to say fuck it and just try for something different, just so it looks right. So one thing they actually added in the game as well, and it was mostly for the additional challenge rooms, and also for the 2 harder difficulties in the game, but they've also added a 4th enemy color to the game.
Ooh.
They added yellow enemies, and they're like pretty much as tough as they get. So they even went as far as adding like a 4th tier, rather than just going, oh yeah, we could just put a bunch of like relatively tough blue enemies in there. They wanted you to work hard in the higher difficulties that they included.
That's cool. I'm like, the more I hear about this remake, the more I really feel like, wow, the people making it seem to put in like tons of love.
Oh yeah, Lizard Cube put a whole boatload of love into this game, to the point where they even met with the original creators of the game and sort of like discussed with them sort of like some of their design decisions, and I believe they also showed them parts of the remake as well, just to say, hey, what do you think of this?
Just by Lizard Cube, you said.
Yeah, Lizard Cube. The publisher is .emu, which I believe were responsible for a couple of other games that I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I believe they are fairly prominent at the very least.
Wow, so is this the only thing that they've done?
As far as I'm aware.
Are you serious?
Not quite. There's a little bit more, but I believe it started off originally as a 2-man team, and then they were able to branch out.
Oh yeah, here's a couple more. It was founded by these 2 guys, and then they had a new music guy, a new sound guy, and a coder. Wow, this is kind of like an indie game.
Yeah, I believe the coder was Sebastian, who was the guy who popped into my live stream the first time I played this game.
Huh.
I think, I'm not entirely sure. If you look up Sebastian on there, he should come up as to what exactly he did.
So I can pull that up here. Sebastian was... Yep, he was the coder.
Yep. So he actually gave me a bunch of insight into like how they sort of found all the secret rooms and what have you in the code. And just basically describing, yeah, we saw all these crazy things in there that we didn't even know about initially, and we just thought, hell yeah.
That's awesome. Mint Schwartz asks, do you plan on getting all the charm stones this run?
Depends if there's time, to be honest with you. We're making pretty decent pace, though, at the moment. We're only an hour in, and we're probably about halfway through the game. Although, historically, Lion Man gives me a bit of trouble, so that's partly the reason why I gave myself some extra time. And also, if I did beast through the game, I'd have some time left over to show off the charm stones.
That's crazy, because I looked it up on how long to beat, and it said like any percent run was like 5 hours.
Yeah, that... You have to take how long to beat with a grain of salt a lot of the time. Like, some of those numbers are vastly overinflated, and I think it assumes a first-time run for a lot of these situations.
Okay, yeah, that would be... I could see that, yeah. Well, I guess because people just will throw in their run time after they beat it, so...
Yeah, and I guess they maybe get an average from that eventually.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I mean, it's a good benchmark, sure, but you have to put in a little bit more research than just saying, oh, here's a number, so therefore it must be that. I think a lot of people fall foul when they're sort of like initially giving their estimates. The only way you're going to get an accurate estimate is if you sort of like try it for yourself and see how long it takes you to beat it. Yeah, these ghosties are pretty annoying. You have to be very careful. But thankfully now we got double boomerangs, which will make this significantly easier, but as long as we don't try and progress too fast, we won't catch foul of a pincer maneuver. Which is usually how you end up losing potions in this game. A potion isn't exactly so much a continue as it is sort of like an extra life that activates immediately when you lose all your health.
Like a Zelda fairy, kind of.
Yeah, it is pretty much a Zelda fairy.
Cool.
Okay. This area isn't too difficult, but there are some portions that can give you a rough time. Let's see here. I think I want tornadoes here.
Apparently, I'm just reading here, the Game Gear version of this has several changes compared to the Master System original. The maps are compressed so they can fit on the Game Gear screen. Some, like the village, are outright redesigned. Identical pigmen are replaced with different human NPCs.
Aww.
The charm point stat is removed, as consequent of the previous point, charm stones have been redesigned and repurposed as escape ropes, pretty much like from Pokemon. As a consequence of that point, warp rooms, the ones that only contain door marked return, have been removed.
I suppose that's more of a transition area anyway, so that's not too bad. But yeah, removing the pigmen, you can't do that. The pigman is an icon. And actually, in the new Monster Boy game coming out early next year, you'll actually be able to actually play as him for, I believe, the first time.
Cool. And so who's that being done by?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, so what's it called? Just Monster?
I believe it's just called Monster Boy, and it has like some weird subtitle. But if you just put Monster Boy 2019, I imagine it will come up.
Oh, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
Yep, that sounds about right.
All right, I'm just reading about it here. 4 years of our lives to create a love letter to classic gaming. Wow. That
is quite a while.
Okay, so it's being made by Game Atelier. Or Atelier. I hate that word. I believe
it's Atelier. Yeah.
Because I look up Game Atelier and I get the Atelier game series.
Yeah. Verona, etc. There's so many games in that series now.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I got sent one to review for on my Switch, and I played it, and I'm like, this is cool, and then I never went back to it, and I feel bad.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's a bit of a hard sell for a lot of people, which is kind of a shame.
They have pretty much nothing under their name right now. Oh, they've done iOS games. They did Crazy Market for iOS. Let's just see how it looks. I mean, it looks cool, the game that they put out on iOS. I mean, that's fine to get started. I don't find that a problem. Speaking of iOS, apparently Shin Megami Tensei iOS just came out this morning. I should maybe take a look at that. Maybe.
This guy is giving me some issues.
Little bit King K. Rool going on here.
Yeah, just a bit.
Most of the shopkeepers on the Game Gear version of Dragonstrap are even from Wonder Boy and Monster World. Oh. Also, this boss here, Captain Dragon, there's an in-joke among me and my friends when you saw Captain K. Rool, and we'd make sounds for the sake of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Captain K. Rool. Man, if K. Rool gets into Smash, we better get all his weird costumes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure there's like meant to be a cheap way to take out this guy as well, but I can't honestly remember what it was.
Have you tried insulting his mother?
I can't say I have.
Usually works pretty good from my experience. I mean, it brings down your cool guy points, but it works.
There we go. A little bit dicey there, but we got through all the same. Now we just collect all the moolah. And we get to go on a bit of an excursion after this too, because Lion Man, which we'll be unlocking in just a moment, unlocks a bunch of places you can go to. With lots of juicy bonuses and what have you. And here we go, we are now the Lion Man, who is actually the character with the most attack in the game, aside from the human.
I feel like that makes sense. A lion would be pretty strong. Hey, shoutouts to 2018 money. That's where we're at.
Alright, what's the best defense for the Lion Man? Samurai armor, I think, is still pretty good for him.
And speaking of money, you guys should donate to get some more of these incentives going, such as the Sonic Bid War. We also have what version of Nights I'm going to play and what song from Nights we're going to play. We also have some incentive games that we want to try and reach. So right now, the games that we have unlocked for the first incentive day on Thursday, Puyo Tetris Mode Exhibition, Dynamite Heady and Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, the best Sonic Boom game. And then on the day after that, Friday, we have me playing Amazing Island, which has been unlocked, thank goodness, because if you guys don't know about Amazing Island, you are in for the most amazing experience ever. And then we have Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure run by Flaming Claw. And the next game, which we are about $300 away from unlocking, is Space Channel 5 Part 2. You know you want to left, right, left, chew, chew, chew.
Oh yes, although it gets a lot crazier than that later down the line, let me tell you.
When will the Sonic bid war end? I think it ends pretty much right as they go to play the game.
Yeah, pretty much when Mania starts.
Yep. Alright, I'm back from grabbing popcorn. What did I miss? Florida Man.
You missed Florida Man, you missed, well, you probably missed a good portion of Mouse Man, depending on when you actually, went to go grab popcorn. So hopefully we'll be able to get a few, goodies on the way. We've managed to pick up a potion, which we'll obviously want, because Lion Man's dungeon is incredibly difficult.
Can you almost say that it's the curse of the Lion Man?
No. Just because I don't want to acknowledge what you just said.
I was gonna say, do you even know? Do you even know? Oh, I think
not
about
quite.
it quite often.
I wish there was an easy way to go up these steps, though. Just like, hold up and diagonal. That would be nice.
Stairs in old video games are a bit of a challenge.
Oh yeah, well it's not so much a challenge, it's just a, exercise in tedium.
Yep, well, until they put enemies on top of these stairs, in which case they become the worst.
So, Tana, do you notice anything odd about this room?
It looks like a Toad House from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Kind of, but that's not quite what I was getting at. This
There's
treasure
nothing in
room
the
has...
chest.
Nope. That should clue you in.
Then what's the secret?
You can blow up the walls and leave, and there is treasure awaiting.
Oh, huh, neat.
Oops, I exited out too early, but that's fine. But basically, every single time you open a chest down there, you get booted out again, and you can't open that chest again. So you kind of just got to open all these chests one at a time, get booted out,
fine.
And then kill the pig man again, and then break your way back through and grab the next one. So I believe... I'm trying to go through these in order just to make sure I don't lose track of which ones I've already picked up.
That's smart. That's a good strat.
But this is pretty much a stock room of basically money and every single item you can think of.
That seems really good. Seems like a pretty necessary visit on a playthrough. As in necessary as in just to make your life easier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It never hurts to stock up.
So I see the items jump out of the box at like an angle. If they fall into the floor, do they fly through and you miss them, or do they land on the floor?
I believe they land on the floor, but I do like to play it safe.
Yeah, because I'm looking at them and I'm like, can you lose those? Because that'd be bad.
I think, like, in the Master System version, there's, like, a certain number of assets that could be on the screen at one time, so I think that might have something to do with it.
Okay. I see.
Like, mostly with coins and such. You don't really get it so much with the, pickups.
This reminds me of the secret area in Mario World, where you can get the power-ups there.
Yeah, it is
Like
a little bit like that, except you can't just
Larry
keep
gets
revisiting that over and over again, get 99 lives, and just trivialize the entire game.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but these ones here, there's a limit to how many times you can open
Oh,
this
okay, I
chest
see what
every
you're saying. Okay. Only 3 items can stay on screen at one time. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
So definitely want to stay under it if you can. Alright, I'm pretty sure that second to last chest we haven't opened yet either, so I'm just going to double check and make sure.
So. And hey, another potion.
Mm-hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so this chest here. Oh, there we go. Lightning bolts. Those would be handy. Provided I remember they exist. They will be very handy. Alrighty, do me a favor real quick if you can. What is the best armor and shield I can get for Lion Man here? Just to make sure I know exactly to what degree I need to gear myself.
The best shield for Lion Man is the Master Shield, purchased from the shop in the hut at the far right of the beach.
Ah, yes.
And the best armor for Lion Man is let me see here. Ooh, there's none that are super good for him, so it's all just number. Probably the Prince armor. Or the Prince armor seems to be the best. And we do have a donation here.
Hey.
From Zehanorto. So my boy Mighty is close to getting sidelined because of a hedgehog. So let's get him back on top so we can show off his might. Yeah! My apologies, but this is my poor attempt at a rap because I've been in a Naruto binge lately and Killer Bee is contagious. Okay, let me try this again now knowing it's a rap. So my boy Mighty is close to getting sidelined because of the hedgehog, so let's get him back on top so we can show off his might. My apologies, but this is my poor attempt at a rap because I've been on a Naruto binge recently and Killer Bee is contagious. Zehanorto, thanks for the $25.
Nicely done.
And that should put Mighty back on top.
Where he belongs.
Yes. At 314. Yes, he is quite eclipsing that blue hedgehog. I cannot wait to go read the chat and see them calling me extra white.
You are, though. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, no.
Well, you sound it, at the very least, especially with that rap. Although it was good, but in, like, it was bad in the best possible way, let's say that.
We do have, from Mint Schwartz, they say that Muramasa Sword is the best to have for Lion Men. We need to go into the next boss, though.
Yes, we already have that. We picked that up earlier. It's mostly defense at the moment, because right now we're kind of made out of tissue paper, and the dungeon coming up is going to tear us a new one if we are not adequately prepared.
What? You couldn't get them to sing karaoke during Yakuza? Come on, that would have been amazing.
They did a very good job with Yakuza, though, from what
if I was playing Yakuza, I would have done the karaoke. It's a shame I haven't played more than 3 hours of Yakuza.
Ah, damn it. Missed it. I was gonna try again at getting the, whatchamacallit, but it didn't work out. Guess I have to take the long way back then. I was hoping there might be a shortcut I might be able to take, but apparently not. Such a thing does not exist in this strange world. So we're gonna take the long way back. Well, I suppose I could exit.
Could you, like, save and quit, and would that reset you back to a point?
Yes. If I go return to title, that should do it. So, if I do that...
That's a good strat sometimes.
Oh, yes. There we go. That does, in fact, work. Thank God for that. Alright. So you said the Prince armor was a good one to go for. Where do I get that from again?
The Prince armor is purchasable from the shop village to the far left of the Mouseman blocks.
Far left of the Mouseman blocks. How much is it?
1,600 and causes enemies to drop more hearts and potions.
Oh, yes. Definitely want that. Okay, then. We'll grab that at the very least, and then, we'll see if we can accumulate some more moolah. So we need to be Mouseman for this one.
Apparently, Deimos says that he had a $100 donation, which he was told he could put to somewhere at another time.
Yes, this is right.
That is correct. Okay, well, that is going towards Sonic.
Oh, wow. The nest egg is finally used.
Yes, he popped his super, meaning that Sonic is now at $394 with Mighty at $314. We need more for Mighty. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of on Team Mighty slightly, so...
Oh, it's fine, dude.
So yes, thank you, Deimos, for popping that super right there and totally changing the tide of battle using your Ultra combo.
Alrighty then. I think we're about as prepared as we can be at this present moment in time. I can't afford the Master Shield just yet, unfortunately, but that's just how it has to go sometimes. Let me think here, is it? Oh yeah, there is another heart we can pick up, so we can grab that in the process. Down over here. Nuke our way through all these blocks. And make sure we have all the best gear we can. Yeah, there we go. Prince Armor, 56 and special. So the hearts will definitely help. I don't think that's much secret. How much is the Master Shield again? I don't suppose you have that information to hand, do you?
I do. The Master Shield is 1,980.
Ooh, that's actually doable. I think. Should be.
Very nice. If that's the case.
Yeah, I'll try and go for it then. Maybe I'll just kill a few enemies on the way, but don't actually go to the boss. Or to the Lion Man dungeon. I do have the yeah, I have the sword equipped, so that's fine. Everything should go down relatively quickly. Yes, the Lion Man, his main deal, apart from being incredibly strong, is that he has an overhead swing, which is incredibly handy, as it allows you to get some of those irritating aerial enemies.
Works very well on crouch blocking enemies. I'm joking. I'm making fighting game jokes. I should stop.
Oh no, it's fine. At least I get them. So as long as we can get about 2k, we should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's just slightly under 2k.
Yeah. That should be doable.
Yeah, the Master Shield is way at the beach at the end. Yep, that's where it is.
Yep. Of course, we need to get that moolah first. Which is why we are here. Because, like, near the end, I believe there's a blue ogre of some description, and that guy drops oodles of cash, if I recall correctly.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, something I should probably show off. This is what the Lion Man looks like in the remake.
Oh, right, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wow, he's different. He has a totally different stance and everything.
Oh yeah, like he drags the sword behind him. It's kind of neat.
That's cool. Reminds me a bit of Guts.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, one of these platforms have ghosts that pop up and try and eat your gonads, which is not ideal.
No, not when you don't want them to.
But thankfully, we have tornadoes, so maybe that'll do the trick for us.
Unless you were the guy from Ghostbusters, in which case he really wanted them to. That was a weird scene as a kid. I didn't get it as a kid. And then I got it as an adult.
And you wish you hadn't.
A little bit. It's one of those things where you watch a movie as a kid and you're like, am I supposed to be watching this?
I think the answer is usually no, but we did anyway because our parents
no,
didn't care.
Well, mine did. Mine cared a lot.
Oh, mine didn't. I got to watch Devilman when I was something like 10 years old. It was great.
Yeah, no, I have ones that are still very much like, is this appropriate? And I'm like, I am 22 years old. I feel like at this point, everything is.
And around here is usually where you can get the Tasmanian sword, I believe. But, of course, we are after the shield because defense is better than offense, as we all know.
The Tasmanian sword's special attack is pressing up an attack while in midair allows you to change your character without having to go to a transformation room.
Yep, that is correct. And there we go.
That's
we now
pretty
suddenly have $2,711 dues. So, I think we can do the return to title and do that. And we'll make our way to the beach. Now, don't remember if the Lion Man hates water or not, but we'll soon find out. No, he's fine with water. It's the Hawkman that comes later on that doesn't like water at all. So just don't do it.
As you know what, as birds do. I feel like that makes sense. Birds
Tell that to
don't
my
like
bird.
water.
Anytime I turn on the sink after it hasn't had a bath for a few days, it just wants to be where the faucet is. It's just like, go, give me the water. Must be clean. It's even worse when you try and have a shower. I think actually at one point my girlfriend was in the lounge, and I was running a bath in the bathroom, which is like a room or two away. And pretty much from out of nowhere, the bird just literally flew from the lounge, latched itself onto the door, and then came in towards the bathroom and immediately started attacking the bathtub. It was a little tricky because the bath was half full, and we didn't want to end up being completely submerged or anything like that, so... It was a weird moment. It was simultaneously, oh, this is so cute and amusing, to, oh shit, please don't fall into the bathtub.
Yeah, that sounds slightly terrifying for more than a couple reasons.
Oh yeah, but she's usually fine. She's a lot smarter than we try to give her credit for. Yeah, they weren't kidding about the increased heart drop rate. Like, holy shit. So many hearts.
What system is Flame playing Generations on? I would assume PC if it's HD, but I could be wrong. Flame, maybe you can answer.
Yeah, if he's still around, he can probably give you an answer. If not, well, you'll find out in a couple of hours.
Yep. We're not too far off from it, honestly. Like, it's not a Yakuza.
Oh yes, the multi-hour long epic. Although then again, I had Phantasy Star 4, which was probably by far the longest game. Alright,
Did you see that they just announced a new Phantasy Star also right after you finished?
Yeah, that was the iOS game, so it looks like it's going to be very similar to Fate Grand Order, apparently.
Yep.
Could be good, although I think a lot of people were looking for like a proper like Phantasy Star game, not like a gacha-filled mobile game, which are fine, but it's usually not what a lot of people are looking for.
It doesn't seem to be like something that people would play, but boy, will it get money for Sega there.
Oh yeah, although I'm partly hoping there'll be some collaboration. Like, I would love like a Phantasy Star event in Brave Exvius. I think that would be amazing, sort of mix in Final Fantasy and Phantasy Star. That'd be killer. I'd enjoy the hell out of that. There we go. Now we got the money, we can go for again, and maybe if we're lucky, we might accumulate enough funds to get the Tasmanian sword.
Maybe.
Because the Tasmanian sword actually does help trivialize the final boss some. Because usually you have to fight as Hawkman, but if you have the Tasmanian sword, just before you go in to fight the boss, you can transform into Lion Man and brutalize it in just a few hits.
That makes sense.
So that's like one of the secret strats you can employ for the final boss, at least. But yeah, usually what you used to be able to do is you can actually come into this area as early as when you unlock Mouse Man, but obviously it's going to be very difficult to take down some of these enemies since they are rather powerful. But if you can get through the entire area with Mouse Man with enough money, you can grab the Tasmanian Sword as Mouse Man, immediately transform into Hawkman, grab the legendary items, and then immediately go towards the final boss.
Oh, it's one of those, yeah, makes sense.
And the way that the tool-assisted speedrun works for the Master System version, at least, is actually very different from what you'd expect. Charm Stones behave very differently in the Master System version compared to here. The Charm Stones here act more like achievements, but in the Master System game, certain amounts of them unlock different secret doors, which basically take you straight to a boss room. And if you get 99 of them, you could literally go straight to the final boss. So the tool-assisted run basically manipulates the RNG so that a charm will always drop from the crabs on the beach, and you just collect those for like 35-40 minutes or so, and then they just go straight to the final boss and kill it as Dragon Man, usually.
I'm gonna be real, the phrase manipulated RPG, or RNG is one of my favorite things about video games. It's like no other medium has you doing useless actions to change fate, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, the Pokemon games are perhaps, like, some of the most famous. I remember in Diamond and Pearl getting involved in a bit of RNG manipulation to, get a shiny Porygon egg. But they had such a weird way of doing it as well, because in Ruby and Sapphire it was, like, super duper easy, as you might be able to imagine. But in Diamond and Pearl, it involved using the weird PDA thing, where you got, like, all those weird, like, almost mini games,
sense, yeah.
and you had to like do things like catch a particular Magikarp at one of the resort places, and then you use that to sort of help get your RNG code, and then from there you decide exactly what sort of Pokemon you want, and you have to like tap one screen like 500 times exactly, and then go to the next screen and then interact with this mini game in a specific way. It's really crazy how it all works, but somehow it does.
I can see why people hate it, but I love it.
It's just crazy how somebody actually took the trouble to find all that out more than anything. Because of course somebody actually has to think to go, ooh, I wonder what if I can change the RNG clock by doing this. And then come up with like a whole program that sort of helps people do it themselves. It is crazy to me how they can actually do that. Hooray, full health. And Moolah. And we can probably just head straight to Lion Man's dungeon now. We'll pick up the Tasmanian Sword on the way back when we actually have some money on our person. Because Hawkman doesn't really need anything apart from the legendary items. And those are fairly easy to get. Alright, so we need boomerangs. We need lots of boomerangs. Just gotta try our best not to get closer than we need to here, just to conserve our hearts.
I love the ridiculously Japanese castle in the middle of a rather generic fantasy world.
Oh yeah, and it like plays into whole ninjas versus samurai thing as well, which I think is kind of neat.
It's just like, I love how it's like, you know, yeah, this is a fantasy world that could exist anywhere with, you know, all the worldly things of, you know, pigmen and all that, and ninjas, and you're like, wait, that one of those sounds very culturally specific, and it's like, no, ninjas, you know, they're everywhere.
That's a nice thing about contemporary fantasy, a lot of things just fit. Alrighty, go past the bonsais. The later version of those samurai can really kick your ass. because they shoot projectiles as well after they're struck. And that's not ideal. It's not over here. There is another secret door later down the line. I should probably quickly show off what this place looks like as well in
Oh yeah, that'd
the
be
remake.
cool.
Because it's kind of a huge contrast between what you'd normally expect.
Oh, whoa, this place looks so cool!
So yeah, that's that.
I think there's also a secret where if you keep pressing the switch button a bunch of times, you'll get the screen halfway stuck, and it will you'll get the ability to play half of one, half the other.
There
Remember
is.
hearing about that? Oh yeah, if you just keep pressing it over and over, it will get stuck.
Huh.
And like you will literally have half the screen be new and half the screen be old.
That's kind of neat. Well, let's see if we can do it. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. As long as I keep tapping it, it'll
No, but apparently like it will get stuck and stay there.
Oh,
when you can
okay.
play.
I don't want to risk doing it just because I think it would.
Yeah, I think they say to do it in a shop or something to make it so that it's easier.
Yeah. So thankfully with our high defenses, this place isn't too tricky, but if you try and come here too quickly, this place will kick your ass. Take that from someone who has played this game many, many a time over many, many a year. The nice thing the remake did as well, so all of the main dungeons, they all have like a very similar theme in the retro version of the game, but in the remake they all have like their own, like they use different instruments and timings and what have you. So like the underwater one is a lot more slow and somber, whereas with the Japanese area, or I guess the Oriental area, I'm not entirely sure what best to classify it as, it's you got all like the instruments there that sort of fit the theme, which is kind of nice. If you get a chance to like properly listen to the music is absolutely phenomenal in the remake as well. They did a fantastic job with it. Yeah, unfortunately the boomerangs don't do much damage to ninjas, but it is way safer.
Yeah, that's important.
Safety first. I believe Danger Aaron said that at one point.
Whatever you do, it is not advisable to come here as Mouseman. It would look like it's possible, but knowing that the enemies will make mincemeat out of you in that form. How much is this in the PSN store? Let me look up.
I believe it's £15, I believe. But it's probably only something like $20, I think, for US dwellers.
In Canada, which is always more expensive than the US, it's... it is... Why am I on the European store? Why did it throw me... Why is it in pounds? I am in Canada. What? That's weird. Canada PSN. Let's go with that. Okay, so it's $26 or $27 in the US store. So that'd be probably about $35 for Canadian. People, it's funny seeing them complain about $60 games, and you go to Canada and games are $90.
And then you got Australia just to throw it even more against their favor.
I mean, we make more money, so it's fine.
There we go, down they go, and we'll unlock our final beast form in just a moment's time. But first, gotta collect all the gold. Especially if we want that Tasmanian sword, which we should have enough money for now. I just need to remember exactly which secret door I have to go in.
Tasmanian sword is only $14.80.
Oh yeah, we definitely had enough money for that then.
And the door for it is purchased from a secret shop hidden in one of the dead ends on the way to the Ninja Temple.
Ah, yes.
You're a bird!
I am a bird. And the bird can fly, as you might expect. But like I said, hates water. Don't do it.
Don't bathe that bird.
Don't bathe that bird. So it's one of the dead ends. Won't be there.
I guess we...
Ah, yeah, I know where it is
bird
now.
it up.
Bird up.
Bird up.
I love those Monster Hunter shorts.
Bird up.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, those Monster Hunter World shorts are like the best thing ever. I can't remember who makes them though, is the only trouble.
Someone says fly above the temple, question mark?
Yeah, if you fly above the temple, that's how you get out. But we're after the Tasmanian sword first. And now we can change our forms at will.
And someone says, how does the bird look in the remake?
Oh yes, we'll look at that as well in just a second.
Oh wow, it's just super instant.
Well, it is in the original version anyway. In the remake, you get the lightning effect. So that's how that works. And that's your look at the bird.
Oh yeah, it looks a lot better in the remake there where it shows the transition. That's cool.
Yeah, I suppose they had like hardware limitations, so I guess they didn't want to make it so you could just spam. Because, I mean, it is a rather substantial effect in the original version.
Like, if they had the seizure lights appear every time you did that, that'd be bad. That would probably fail compliance.
Yeah, also, it would be more the fact they'd have to stop gameplay for that effect to happen. Because the only reason that effect happens is because it's in a closed-off room where you don't have to worry about enemies attacking you, so they can kind of take their time with those sorts of things. But if they had to let you do it on the fly, you would just leave yourself open, or like gameplay would have to stop halfway through, which is not what you want. You don't want to interrupt the flow. Yeah, unfortunately the Tasmanian sword isn't particularly strong, but, you know, you're not using it as a weapon, you're using it for the purposes of transforming yourself at will.
Yep.
Alright, so now we can get to the point in the game where we pick up the legendary items. Which are, as you might guess, the most powerful weapons, armor, and shield in the game.
I don't know, with a name like legendary weapon, they might not actually be that good.
Well, it's more the legendary sword, the legendary shield, and the legendary armor. One of them I think we have to buy. There's like a shop that you can purchase it from.
Let me see.
One of them drops from the castle back where you started the game in.
The legendary sword, second strongest weapon in the game.
Oh yeah, because there is actually a stronger weapon included in the remake, I believe.
Yes, the garlic sword.
That is right. The garlic sword, I think you'll find it's called.
Yep. And it causes enemies to drop more magic, and it ironically costs 2017 gold.
Yes, I believe you actually have to get all the charm stones to unlock the rights to buy that one as well.
It just says 4.
Oh,
4
that's right. You just need 4. That's what it is. So yeah, the legendary shield will set you back 5,440 gold. Fortunately, that's actually quite easy to do. And whilst I have that here, I'm actually going to go for this as Lion Man because he is by far the best choice in terms of attack and defense right now. There's just no challenge. Like, the bird will just get torn to shreds. Oh, that's right. We need a key, don't we? Where does that come from again? I think there was a shop that sold it. Let's go back then. See if we can find that key. Ah, yeah, here we go. It's bought in here, I believe. Or it's found in here, rather. Oh, maybe not. Alright, where does one buy a key?
Wonder Boy buy a key. Let me look up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember where the key was.
Buy Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap CD key, compare prices. No.
That's not what we're looking for.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. Wonder Boy question. Keys. I can't find this online. I cannot find a key to the final door, and I already purchased one. It says there's one from the store to the right of the starting location as the bird.
Ah, so that would be either here or somewhere else.
There's one that says turn into Mouse Man and head left in the village at the end of the forest area.
Oh no, here it is.
Oh, hey, there we go.
There was a gap in my memory. So, that's the reason why. There was another store further along. Alright, so there we go. We got the key now, so all is good. There we go. I love the bird's walking animation as well. Just like his tail flaps up and down, and he doesn't really walk so much as he just sort of like jumps and hops. Hop, 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 hop. So cute. Alright, change of the line, man. And equip the Muramasa Blade. And in we go, back to where it all began, technically. Put the boomerangs back on because they're OP as fuck. So what we are doing now is we are going into where we fought the Cyber Dragon boss. Because not only that's where the legendary sword is, but if you go in there again after collecting the legendary sword, you'll be given nothing short of 5,000 money. Probably even more than that. But we'll take a count. We'll see how much money we have before and how much we end up with afterwards.
Mint Schwartz says you'll also need to buy another key for the last part.
Yes, we do, we do. Because I believe the door is locked on the final boss at least, so definitely want to make sure we grab that. So there we go, we got the legendary sword, and then we can go back in and collect all this glorious money. We had about 2,300 coming in.
And is the legendary sword good for everyone?
Yeah, it's good for everybody.
Awesome.
And the human obviously gets a bit of a boost. There we go, 5,700, which gives us enough money to buy the legendary shield, and the legendary armor will drop from one of the Onis we'll come across later on. So, legendary sword is 245, so for the Lion Man, the Muramasa Blade is actually better. But for everybody else, the legendary sword is the clear winner.
You can get infinite money in Mecha Dragon's room every time you quit the game and go back there.
I believe you can, yes.
Well, that seems slightly OP, but hey...
Well, to be fair, the only thing you need to really buy with money is the legendary shield. Once you got that, you've basically got everything you need to spend money for.
Alright.
And then one of these guys here will have the armor that we left behind, apparently. There we go, and that's the legendary armor picked up. And now we just need to get the shield from the secret shop. Now we can ignore him. And up we bounce. And you can't go back in that way, for some reason. It's a one-way trip. But there we go. We have the legendary shield now as well. So we pretty much have everything we need at this point. We can go to the final boss undeterred. So, let's see here.
Stuff.
So, we'll want the legendary armor. And we'll equip the legendary sword as well, but, we'll use the Tasmanian Blade first to turn ourselves into Hawkman. Then put the legendary sword back on. And now we must fly high to the skies. Actually, we should see how much an extra key is, just in case we do need it.
Yeah, someone did say we would. So as we're coming up to the final area, you may want to get your money in if you want it in during this run. I mean, we do have the other runs coming up, so you'll be able to get that all day during Sonic Generations or Jet Set Radio Future.
Let's see, I think what I need to do first is... Well, I need to heal up first, that's usually pretty important.
Healing is pretty important. Healing is...
But we don't quite have enough money. So, hold on. I'm sure we'll be fine. We got potions, so we are decently equipped. And now we need to equip the Magical Saber, and it's pretty much the second and only other time in the game we need it to create a block for the purpose of breaking it. And that will give us the secret door, which will lead into the final area of the game. And I'll show this off in the remake's graphics as well, just so you can see the difference between the two. Pretty substantial.
I'd say it's a bit more imposing in the 8-bit, I'm gonna be very honest.
Yeah, it does a bit. I think it might just be because it looks a little bit more grand in the remake version. But like, it's partly like the lack of a background as well that kind of helps it out. Alright then, so let's go back to our retro style, and let's get this thing started. First things first, make sure I've got the legendary sword actually equipped. I do. And I believe there is one more heart container that we can get. But I believe that comes later on.
So as a reminder, one other thing that I should remind you all of, the Knights Bid War ends when we play it, when we play the game. Obviously, I have to pick what game I'm playing, so if you have a version of Knights you prefer, whether it's the Saturn version or the PlayStation 2 version, be sure to get your money in for that, because it's your last chance, and I don't think Knights will ever be played on Hellfire comms ever again. I'm just pulling that out my butt, but I'm just saying it. So please make sure that you donate for that. I can play either version. They both have their ups and downs, because even though they look cosmetically different, they also have slight different play styles. Very slight, but it's there.
The difference exists.
Yes. Some bosses are easier, some are harder.
So the idea with the final dungeon is that you're supposed to go through it as all the various different animal forms that you've accumulated through the game. Of course, with the Tasmanian sword, you can kind of interfere with the order a little bit. But for the most part, you're pretty much in whatever animal form is intending for you to go in. So you start off as Mouse, then you'll do like a Piranha Man section, then you do a Lion Man section, and then you go back to Hawk, which is what you're meant to fight the final boss as. But of course, thanks to the Tasmanian sword, we can just ignore that entirely. And there's our last heart container, which will give us our 8 health maximum. I'm not sure if there is a 9th that you can get, but I don't recall. Like, Clouds, leave me alone. Probably should have used a Thunderbolt on them. I've got loads of them. I should probably actually try and use some of these.
Yeah, use your items that you have not been using too much of. I get it, though. Don't worry.
So let's go Tasmanian Sword and go into Piranha Man. Put the legendary sword back on.
I just realized I'm super sad there's no Cheetah Man in this.
This was way before Action 52, my friend.
Yeah, but that song, though. So good it's played in Japanese raves.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. So yeah, I'm apologizing now because the lightning effects are pretty intense in the retro version.
Ooh, yeah.
Like pretty much full blackout. And it does damage everything that's present on the screen, so it's a great oh shit button. Stopping ninjas in midair and all sorts of other crazy stuff that you can use it for. Now, I believe you can usually use the Tasmanian sword to change into Hawkman for this part, and just basically fly over everything. But I'm going to try and give myself a bit of a challenge here. Alright, Lion Man time then. So, Tasmanian sword again. Change to Lion Man, put on the Muramasa blade this time. And, actually, I have a better idea. Tasmanian Sword. Change into the mouse. Phase through that wall.
As you do, just phasing through walls. It's fine.
Yeah, that's actually the intended way for Mouseman to complete that particular section. But of course, if you can transform into Mouseman at will, that section stays consistent throughout. Which is kind of funny. Since you could just straight transform into Mouseman and just dodge a whole bunch of stuff you'd normally have to try and traverse as anybody else. Yeah, it's fine. We can take a hit. And through the door we go.
Can we get an ETA from you?
Well, let's see. I'll be completing the main game in like 15 minutes time. So that's
And are you doing bonus stuff?
If we have time, yes. Alright. So transform into Hawkman and make our way through the final leg of this particular dungeon's journey.
Looks like we may be doing some bonus stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do the bonus stuff.
Sweet. Okie dokie. That'll be fun. Hopefully we can get that done in a decent amount of time too, so hopefully it won't take much longer than the hour that would put me into my estimate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even quicker. Like, the only really tough one is the Mouseman bonus stage, because that requires some very precision platforming. Alright, so, final boss time. Let us gear up Lion Man as beefy as we can, so the Muramasa and both legendary items, and let's go fight the final boss. Unfortunately, this guy has a habit of stun locking you for quite long periods of time, so you gotta be very careful.
Not a big fan of the face on his chest. It's a bit terrifying.
Yeah, it's a little bit more cartoony in the remake. Just to show that off briefly. But yeah, it does look a bit derpy, I absolutely agree. And we're done with the main portion of the game. And then from this point on, we can now transform into the human. Which is very nice. Pretty much just a very, very strong character. So a bit like the Lion Man without like the overhead stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the remake Vampire Dragon is quite a bit better. I'll definitely give you that. And there we go, we're human again! Yeah, usually the fight doesn't go that quick, but because the, Tasmanian Blade exists, we can just go into it as Lion Man and just make it a cakewalk. As Hawkman, it's a lot more difficult, because not only are you not as strong, but sometimes you're encouraged to fly up and hit him in the sky.
Tom says you got an hour to kill. Good luck with the post-game stuff.
Sweet! Okie dokie. That'll give us plenty of time. Let me just grab my last can of Coke in the meantime. Which for some reason comes with win an unforgettable experience. Meditation Beach, Igloo something or others, Igloo sleepovers. Huh, that's a thing.
Huh, what is it? Canada? Human just go to his home just like that. That's what he does. He just honestly sometimes you just want to. I mean, maybe he just didn't want to sleep in another form. Makes sense. You know, you want to sleep in your own bed, you want to sleep in your own form.
Yeah, you don't want to just wake up and realize you're still like a fucking lizard or something. That would mess with your mind. let's open this away from the microphone, just to make sure it doesn't deafen people.
No, you gotta open it right into there and then just start doing ASMR.
Yeah, just like slurp into the microphone. No, I wouldn't do that to you guys.
You wouldn't. I would.
Yeah, the thing is, the door doesn't actually appear in the original version of the game. It's actually where the human secret area is, so you do actually go back into his house actually within the game. I love how they include the actual typos as well when they go through all the enemy names.
Oh, that's great. That's so good.
So yeah, vampire is spelled V-A-M-P-I-E-R. And quite nice. And what else is quite nice is that they showed the Lizard Cube team as like the age they were back in 1980. I think this game came out in 1989.
So cute. I love that. That's the best. One of them better just be a fetus.
It's just like the ultrasound scan.
Oh my god, these are the best. I love these little dweebs. But it does make the game look like it was done by just, like, children. Well, at least the remake. Oh, Taka and Nori look so cool.
He's like almost the Fonz.
Oh, this is the best. We need more credits showing people. That's the best.
Although I'm not sure showing him as grown-ass men is going to have quite the same impact, though.
No, well, no, it still would. I'd love to look at the credits and just see all these
Christian
people.
Cortez has got it going on.
Oh my god, he's so cool.
But no, this was a really neat touch. It does make that game just that little bit more personable and actually shows how much love went into it. Like, even to the point where they go, hey, for the credits, we should totally show ourselves at the age we were when this game was originally released. There you go, Canada represent.
There they are! That's my boys!
I believe after you complete the game as well, you can rematch the dragons if you wanted to. So if you want to just, like, go through the game as the human permanently and, like, beat up all the dragons as the human character, you can absolutely do that. Just wait for these credits to finish and then we'll, try and do all the post-game stuff.
Cool, that's actually crazy. So, is the post-game remake exclusive, or was there post-game in the original?
No, this is entirely remake exclusive. These were dungeons that they purposely built to be challenge dungeons. So you can't use the Tasmanian sword in there. You have to go through the dungeon as whatever animal form they give you.
Interesting.
It is very cool. So I'm not sure if we'll try and do them in order. I'll just do them as I remember where the secret areas are, I think. Or I can do Mouseman's first and just get it out the way, because he is by far the hardest.
Yeah, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, in fact, I think I will do that. So there we go. We are now the human. In all his humanly fleshy glory. He looks very plain, but he is the hero we deserve. Alright, so, to begin with, I need the Tasmanian sword again, so I can transform into Lion Man. Break our way through there. Because Mouseman's dungeon is actually where Lion Man's is. And for funsies, we'll go through the majority of it as the human. Okay, let me think here for a second. Yeah, legendary sword, that's what we want to wear. Go. Yep. And there we go. Right. Underneath one of these quote-unquote staircases is the way to Mouseman's dungeon. Oh, I don't think it would hurt to find a nurse as well. I believe there is one in this dungeon that's a little bit hidden away, although in the remake it's a little bit more obvious. When I come across it, I'll show you exactly how and why that is. Ooh, wrong way. I need to go that way. Oh, maybe we don't need to after all. One of the ghosty dudes just dropped a massive heart for me.
Hey, cool.
Alright. So in one of these areas is where we need to use the Tasmanian sword. Transform into Mouse Man. Yeah, I believe it's here. Or at least somewhere closely related to here. Oh no, it's further back. Never mind. I remember it being fairly close to the start, which is fortunate. There's one for each form, so including the human, that would be 6. Yeah, here we go.
Huh. Apparently, I'm just reading here, you can use the passwords from the original Master System version in this version.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is essentially the Master System version of the game with lick of paint thrown on for the sake of the remake.
But it would have to be, like, pretty much reprogrammed for all this new stuff, so I'm like, that's crazy if they got the passwords in, too.
But yeah, it has, like, all the foundations of the Master System game.
Apparently, if you type in, for the password, WE5T looking like West, and then 0NE looking like 1, you get pretty much... it says you get loads of money and all the items, and you can pretty much go to the final boss right away.
Yeah, it's basically the unlock everything cheat.
You start as a new game, but you can do everything right away. So that's kind of cool.
So yeah, you can see why Mouse Man is by far the most challenging, just because you got all these tricky platforming sections that you gotta tackle.
Yeah, and lightning here looks really useful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nope. That did not work. So yeah, I might have to concentrate a bit, so you have to forgive me if I end up going into a long period of silence at any point, but I'll try and keep it interesting.
No worries. Makes sense.
Oh, okay. Went there a little bit too quick, but it looked good for a moment, at the very least. And like I said, I can't use the Tasmanian sword here. I have to go through this entire section as Mouse Man and do it the way that they intended for it to be done. Alright, how many lightning bolts will this guy take? Ah, enough. Okay. So, I need to go jump, and then down, up, and around, grab the key, and then do that all over again. So, go up here, jump, go right to the top, go across, and do that again, and there we go! Wow, that actually took me a lot less time than I thought it would.
Yeah, great job. I mean, it still looked like platforming hell, but great job.
Yeah, very happy with that. Okay, so now I need to get out of here. So that's thankfully very easy, since you basically get plonked right into the beginning anyway, so we'll go ahead and do that. And let's head back. I'll see if I can collect some money along the way as well, so I can get the Gallic sword whilst I'm doing all this. Because that would be nice to kind of pick up, at the very least, just for completion's sake. Alright, so I guess we can do the human stage next. Since that's literally just around over here.
So
it'll be a good way to show him off briefly as well, so let's go ahead and make sure he's got the legendary sword equipped. There we go. Let's go to the humans area. So yeah, this is probably the second most difficult, or sometimes the most difficult, depending on how comfortable you are with platforming. So if I just jump straight there, nope, that doesn't work.
The way the shield works is really interesting. Does it actually have a hitbox that can only hit the shield, or does it just block on your face pretty much?
No, it pretty much blocks whatever the shield is facing. So as long as you're standing and you're not actually attacking, it will block the attack as long as you're facing it, facing in front of it. But yeah, this particular part is very much a ball ache. Almost had it. Let's try that again. There we go.
Good job.
And yes, this is where the yellow enemies will start making their appearance as well, so be very prepared for significantly tougher enemies than you're used to.
The good news is you do have 3 potions.
Yes, I do. That will help greatly, actually.
And you have lots of items to use.
Also very true, which will be very handy for taking out these clouds. If I can,
What is this? Super Smash Brothers for Wii U?
Come on. Damn ghosty. There you go. And then I believe I just go left, and that'll take me over, potentially? Or maybe not. I actually have to do some manual labor for this to work. There we go. Switch back to Boomerang. And there is more dungeon to go.
Oh, I thought that'd be the end.
No, not quite. Human has a little bit more involved in terms of platforming and combat. And there is a very, very, very cheeky thing that they included in the end. I got stuck for it for quite a while, and it actually took Sebastian coming into the stream to tell me explicitly what to do in order for me to actually understand what it was the game was asking me to do.
It's actually pretty it must be cheeky if you have to get the coder of the game to tell you what to do.
Yeah, very much so. Although it is very clever when you actually see it. Like, you'll think, oh my god, how am I supposed to do this? But then when you actually see what it is, you just can't help but, like, go, wow, that is actually genius.
Yes, Sebastian, the crab from The Little Mermaid. No, we're talking about the coder of the game who joined him while he was playing on stream. Though, to be fair, if Sebastian the Crab from The Little Mermaid, from Disney's The Little Mermaid, came in on stream, we would also take his advice as well.
Oh yeah, like, absolutely no question.
Okay, so this area, does it just loop vertically, or is there actually like a bottom where you can die?
No, there isn't a bottom where you can die, but it's one of those looping puzzles where there's specific entrances and exits that lead to like the next part. Otherwise, it will just loop you around.
Does this game have bottomless pits at all? I'm just thinking.
Nope, it has absolutely none.
Interesting. I like that. That's good for a platformer.
Exactly. Especially for an adventure one like this, because they could have very easily have done it, but they wanted to put the focus on the adventuring and combat side of things as opposed to just trying to be cheeky little arse-halves. Oh, I remember, you're not actually supposed to use that spring. Okay. Had a bit of a brain fart there. Because it kind of conditions you into thinking, oh, I have to use the springs, but no.
Oh, but you oh, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. Was that the cheeky thing, or is there something you
No, that's coming up now. Okay, so I'm going to task you here with something. So, this is the area in question. So, how do you suppose you get to that door?
Okay, well, I have to wait for my stream to catch up here. My guess would be that there's blocks on top that you can just go through.
Well, let me get you a clearer picture in just a second. Just gotta remove these ninjas from existence.
Yes. What is this? The European version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Hey.
Alright, so here you go. This is the situation you're left with. So,
Okay.
the door's over here. There's 2 destructible blocks that don't seem to lead to anywhere specific. So, can you see what you need to do?
Do you have to get hit and use the iframes to go through the small hole?
You're close. Actually, what you have to do is you have to use the human's one unique, well, semi-unique skill. Crouching.
You have to crouch while blocking it to get pushed through.
Yep. It took me longer than I care to admit to figure that shit out.
That's dope. That's dope. That's so good.
It is so clever. I was absolutely floored when Sebastian said, "Oh, you should totally try this." Wait, there's no way this can. Oh my god, it works.
That is brilliant.
Unfortunately, it means you can't get out. But that's okay, because you can return to title and do it that way. So it tells you how many of the charms you actually collected as well, which is rather nice, so you can keep track of your progress.
After we get 4, we should go for the garlic sword.
Yes, I am inclined to agree. But first, let's go with the Tasmanian sword, and we'll transform into Hawkman, and we'll do the Hawkman's one.
Oh man, Turbo Pebbles said we should do an Under the SEGAthon, and that just made me think, imagine like a marathon of just underwater levels in video games.
But that would mean I would have to practice Echo the Dolphin, because nobody else would be willing to play it.
You know what? You're not wrong.
So yeah, I think that if we did something like that, that would be the one time where I'd have to basically concede that as much as Echo the Dolphin gets suggested, like, nobody wants to play it, because that game is weird as... Well, it's not so much that it's weird, but playing it is rather difficult. There's, like, all sorts of weird nonsense that you have to do to, like, unlock areas, and there's, like, very precision-based puzzles and platforming bits you also have to do, like, when you're going through the sea of, I guess... Like, the weird air, like, mid-air slime section, that's also an auto-scroller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Enter the Machine is bad.
No, it's not Enter the Machine. It's, I can't remember if it was Echo 1 or Echo 2. I'm pretty sure it was Echo 2 that had that literally part where you had to, like, literally go through slime, and it's all, like, auto-scrolling, and it would, like, go backwards, forwards, and loop in on itself occasionally. It was really, really tedious.
So, you can just fly over everything as Hawkman?
You can, in theory, yes.
Wow.
So it does make revisiting areas you've already been to a lot easier.
True that.
And his area is just above over here.
We need about slightly under 1,000 for the garlic sword.
Yep.
Oh, so his isn't a door, it's just through a secret area.
Yeah, there's like that passage is completely closed off in the Master System version. It's only in the remake where there's like that little gap there that's actually free for you to go through.
That's cool. It's like for people, for those eyes who know the game really well, they can go like...
They think, wait a minute, that wasn't there before.
And then they have an existential crisis thinking, has that been
the whole time? Yeah, exactly. I think that's usually the, there's some secret stages that people just find accidentally. I'm not sure if that's one of them, because, like, they'll maybe think, ooh, I can go in this Hawkman and fly over and grab this thing, and they just keep going without thinking, and then just run into this area. Alright, so one of these guys has a key. So, hold on. I need tornadoes. Because tornadoes are actually very effective at killing these things.
Oh, in this area, it looks like they're good, because they have a little... like the way they move.
Exactly. I believe it's one of the frogs that's holding onto the key here.
The frogs look so smug.
They are very smug frogs. It's kind of annoying.
Like, I'm a frog. Can't kill me.
There we go.
I'm yellow, which means I'm poisonous.
I am deadly even to look at. There we go, and that's a Hawk Charm. One of the easier ones, especially if you just kind of man-mode it. And just try and go through, kind of ignoring contact damage and the like. So now we can return to title again.
Nice, nice. So we got one more before we can get the super cool garlic sword, which is extra smelly, I guess. Oh, it's because the bad guy's a vampire.
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm not entirely sure if that is the reason, but it wouldn't surprise me. Alright, next one. I think the Lion Man one would probably be the best one to go for next, so let's re-equip the Tasmanian sword, and we'll turn into the Fishman.
As you do.
MC Hammerman. Sorry, I'm not going to get over that. That's going to be like the one thing I take from this particular run. The Piranha Man is MC Hammer, and apparently the lava immunity mail just drops off a random ass enemy at an 18% chance. So you may recognize this one. We did show this off briefly. Though thinking about it, maybe I want to heal first.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea for a very, very tough area to not go in with one heart.
Well, it's not so much that, it's just that we have a single heart, and that's usually not ideal no matter where you're going.
Yeah, well, we have slightly more than a single heart. We have like a tiny pixel of the one there.
Yeah, like maybe 2 pixels tops, but I get the feeling that is literally a single pixel. But yeah, just in case you were wondering, you can't use the Tasmanian sword and then go into a door to go in as whatever creature you want. It not only locks you into a certain enemy, but it also force transform you into... I said enemy, didn't I? It will force transform you into whatever animal form that they want you to go through the stage as. So you can't even cheese it that way. They thought of everything. I love this walk cycle so much. Like, usually I just jump for no reason, but this is like the one character I would absolutely consider not doing that for. Alright, get rid of you, and when we jump down here... Alright, let's just man mode this. We have the dexterity and the endurance to do it.
We have a bit more time to donate, guys, for Sonic Mania and the Knights Bid Wars, so please consider donating if you haven't. And if you have, consider it again. And if you... We're not forcing you to, though. I see some of you saying that you don't have money. Don't worry, then. That's fine. We're not going to make it. But... if you do, it's nice. And if you, I think if you use it on the, if you put your name down on the website, you can actually get it as a tax return. So you can get that taken off your tax there, which is nice if you live in a place that does that. I know I do.
Alright, looks like this is another one of those areas where we need to grab a key off a random, nondescript enemy. And it wasn't that ogre, unfortunately, so one of these ghost fuckers has probably got it. It's probably you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I knew it! You sneaky bastard. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. And there we go. We can now grab the garlic sword. But I'm pretty sure it's meant to be the Gallic sword, but I think it's meant to be a play on the word garlic. Alright, so...
Well, they just love Vegeta from Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm. But they couldn't make it a gun because that just wouldn't make any sense. So they had to say, I guess we'll make it a sword. Right, so I believe there is some treasure we can plunder. Tell you what, let's test your theory about the chest respawning when you return to title. Do you have to return to title, or do you have to actually leave the game and reload it up?
Not 100% sure.
Well, let's find out. I mean, we've got plenty of time to kill, so definitely
Tom says, what is the ETA?
Well, let's see. We've done 4 out of the 6 dungeons so far, so...
Wait, there's 6? I thought there was 8.
No, there's 6.
I thought there was... Okay.
So I maybe say 20 minutes? Possibly? Yeah, I'll say 20 minutes, because obviously there's only 2 left, and I think they're one of the easier ones as well, so we should be fine for a relatively quick one. We're just going to try and get the garlic sword first.
Okay.
Or the Gallic sword, I'm not entirely sure which one it actually is meant to be. I don't have the name of the weapon directly in front of me right at this present moment. But yeah, let's test this theory about the respawning money chest, shall we? Is there money? There is! Huh, okay, so that actually works. So there is a way to get infinite money in the game, so that's always good to know. You can buy everything in the game and just test it out. There's actually a piece of armor that was also bugged in the Master System version called the Hades armor. It's a random drop off the samurai enemies in the Lion Man's dungeon, but they had this weird... It had an effect where it basically acts like a potion.
Yeah,
but once it's used, the armor is meant to be used up. But in the Master System version, as long as you don't go back into the equipment menu at any point after dying with it on the first time, you cannot die. It will just keep giving you back all your health when you go to 0, as long as you never look at the equipment screen ever again.
That sounds like it could be pretty good.
Oh yeah, it is insanely good.
And you're saying that that got fixed for this version?
Oh yeah, much like the Tasmanian sword did. You could just tell that wasn't intended. It's just because of the way the Master System was, and I guess the hardware or software or whatever. Yep. Alright, so I believe this is where Lion Man dungeon exists. Or it might be Lizard Man. It's one of the two, I know that much. I just need to remember where the last one is. Not sure why I'm picking up the money, it's not like we need it anymore. Oh yeah, that's a thought. I actually haven't picked up the garlic sword yet, so I should probably do that first. Excuse me. Coming through. I forgot the thing that I can now apparently buy. It is only 4 that you need to buy it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I did hear that correctly.
That is what it says here. It says, strongest sword purchasable from the secret shop found by going down the village well, smashing the breakable block above the first pipe, then entering the door. Requires 4 charm stones before the shopkeeper will sell it. Special effect, cause enemies and treasure chests to drop significantly higher amounts of magic.
Yep, that sounds good to me. Blammo. Door get. Yeah, the Gallic sword. So there we go. I suppose that is meant to be a play on the word garlic, I suppose. And cost 2,017 gold, which was when the game was, well, rather when the remake was released. They could have also sold it for like 1989 as well, I suppose. I think that would have been just as good. And let's put on the Tasmanian sword briefly.
I just like how the pig just says, shopping, please.
Shopping, please. That's great. Alright, let's go finish up these bonus dungeons, and then we should be ready. Still under estimate, or at least within estimate, I would like to think. Even with the extra stuff thrown in there. And then we can have some Sonic Generations to show off.
Yeah.
But I am glad I got to play this again, because obviously playing through the remake, I didn't really show off much of the retro stuff. So having a game, another playthrough of the game where I pretty much just have it almost entirely on retro, except for like a couple of occasions, definitely works for me. All right.
Well, I'm just watching you play this. This just seems like one of those games that you can just pop in and play through, and it's so quick and fun that it's just like. Just no problems, and it reminds me a bit of like Shovel Knight or something for that, you know?
Oh, absolutely, and like I said, the game is still challenging.
Yeah, like for sure. I mean,
Like,
I
for someone
saw,
going through the game the first time, you'll probably struggle against, like, a couple of areas, I would imagine.
I saw some of the enemies doing way too much damage.
Alright, so now we have the Galax Sword, so let's equip that. So now the,
Does
Lizard
the sword
Man.
set actually affect the Lizard Man?
Yeah, it increases his attack power. Not as much, obviously he won't ever have max stats, but, he at least now has defense that's actually worth a damn, because if you come in here with anything not called the legendary armor and the legendary shield, these guys will tear you to shreds, and this was the first dungeon that I tried. And obviously I think I may not have had the legendary armor equipped on him at the time. I owned it, but it wasn't set to be equipped onto the Lizard Man. And he just got torn to shreds.
So wait, does the armor, is it like set for each character, or?
I believe
like-
so. I believe normally what happens, when you
Interesting.
pick up a new piece of armor, it usually equips it straight away for you.
Okay.
But of
Well,
course,
that would suck if you get one of those random drops while you got the best stuff on.
I think so, but I think it may actually work in a way that if it is better, then it will equip it, but if it is worse, it might not necessarily straight away. Alright,
okay.
so this area right here, I also thought was pretty tricky initially, until I discovered something. So let me just demonstrate here. So the idea of these breakable blocks is that if you hit your head underneath them, they will break. So you would think initially that the idea behind this dungeon would be to try and get through without breaking the blocks, and then obviously do all the platforming bullcrap afterwards. And if you break like 1 or 2 blocks, it might be fine, but still not exactly convenient. But I just remembered, I remembered later on is that you can actually turn off the thundering, I believe. No, it's not that you turn off the thundering, you equip, you might recognize this, the magical saber, which turns stars into rocks, but it doesn't break rocks, and has 0 attack, so now I can bash my head against the rocks as much as I want, and they won't ever break.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's like another weird, clever solution that they put in there. I believe you can do it like the way that I've shown, where if you're lucky, you can just like not break rocks or catch them on like the right pixels so they don't break. But this is the intended way to do it. So you have to think, ooh, I wonder if the magical sword might actually have a third use, and then just do it.
That's nice. It's nice whenever a game has like, you know, there's an item that's super specific and they add even just one more instance of using it in. I do like that a lot.
Oh yeah, especially when it's implemented in a clever way like that, and obviously with the humans crouching shield thing. Okay, so the 6th one is Lion Man's. I don't actually remember where that is, so Tanner, could you quickly look that up for me?
Lion. Okay, so let's just go Secret Areas, Wonder Boy Remake. Secret Doors, okay. Secret Shops, nope, that's for the original. I don't want that one. Charmstone Locations, here we go. Okay, so we want Lion Man, which is... Okay, similar to Piranha Man, Lion Man's charm is pretty easy to obtain, but tricky to find. It's located at the beach, but it's in the location to the right. After the first beach area, fall into the water and break the hidden blocks between the first and second octopus. This can be hard to see, so I suggest using classic mode to find it.
Oh yeah, I remember now. There's like hidden blocks, and you need to be in retro mode to find them.
You have to be?
Yeah, because in the remake, they're disguised cleverly in the foreground, whereas in the retro version, they don't have that capability, so it has to be displayed as broken blocks.
Okay.
It is incredibly clever. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if I just don the Tasmanian sword for a second, and turn myself into Piranha Man just for the moment. But yeah, when you see it, you'll be amazed. Alright, so actually for this, I'm going to start off going into modern mode. Just to show it off
just so I
even
can
further.
see how bad it is, apparently.
Yep.
Oh, there's cool little eye catches when you enter new areas in modern mode, too.
Yep. Alright, so, No, it's not here. It's later on.
It says it's in the first area.
It is in the first
Fall
area.
into the water and break the hidden blocks between the first and second octopus.
Between the first and second octopus, okay. So, it would be past this area. And it would be... here, I'm guessing? No, that can't be right. We just go through the entire first area.
Yeah, it says...
Yeah, let me try the second area.
Okay, so it says after the first beach area.
Yeah, so it's
Fall
in the
into
second.
the water. Okay, and break the hidden blocks between the first and second octopus. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That makes sense.
Why didn't they just say in the second beach area? Come on, guide.
Alright, here we go. So, it will be right here. So, let me just quickly show you in the remake. So, that's what you see in the remake version. In the retro version, that's what you see. And the blocks are clear as fucking day.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, wow. Huh, that's a difference.
So yeah, they expect you to either just try swinging around wildly, or they literally purposely design something that you have to go into retro mode in order to find. That is genius. Alright, so now we go through Lion Man's area. And then that'll be everything. We'll have all of the gubbins, and oh yeah, I should probably actually equip a sword that can do some damage. So hold on. Gallic sword, go!
Might help to equip something slightly stronger than a...
Put it this way. The difference between the Tasmanian sword is 164 attack versus 250. That extra 100 points adds up to a lot. More than you would think, certainly.
Especially when you look at the speed of the attacks, yeah.
Exactly. And for some reason they give you the boss music for Lion Man's secret dungeon. Not sure why, but you know what, it's fine. I can dig it.
So is there any like actual prize for getting all the charm stones?
I don't think so, apart from obviously the Gallic sword, which you only need 4 for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more just for completionist's sake and to find a way to implement the charm stones in a new way as opposed to what they had before, which essentially served as a very RNG-based way of unlocking shortcuts.
Yeah, I was reading about it, and it's like, yeah, they're random drops, and if you get 99 of them, it unlocks the next door to the boss, and you can... Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a little weird. Oh, but here you don't want to use your sword too much because you'll break the platforms.
Exactly, which is where your magic items come in handy, because boomerangs, you don't have to worry about that happening.
That makes sense. That's cool. That's some cool... That is some very clearly modern level design being thrown in there. Like, that is... You look at that and you're like, that is something that they looked at and came up with for the modern way. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't intrude on what the source material was either. It feels like it should have been in there from the very beginning.
Alright, so, wait. Oh, there you go, we've fallen out there. Is that about it then, or is there...
Yep, we got the last charm stone, so, I suppose I'll close this off the same way as I did previously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to title. And go play and that. And we're gonna go and kill the dragon as a human, just because.
Yeah, why not?
And if you could let Tom and what have you know that we're pretty much done here. We'll wait until they're ready before closing off. Let's go heal up first before we do this. And I believe the way shortcut to the final boss is just over here, if I recall correctly. Yep, there we go. And now we just need to equip the Tasmanian Sword, turn ourselves into the human, and re-equip the legendaries. No, we want to use the Gallic Sword, because, you know, it's the ultimate weapon, and obviously it hurts vampires more.
Watch us discover that it kills the final boss in one hit or something.
Not quite.
I mean, but it's garlic.
It's Gallic, not the same thing,
No.
technically.
It's like, I can't believe it's not butter. It's slightly off-brand.
I can't believe it's not Gallic.
That deals incredible damage to him.
Yep, I mean, the Lion Sword that we were using was doing very similar damage, although this kills it in 4 hits. I think with Lion Man, it takes 5. And there we go. We have defeated the evil once again.
Awesome stuff.
And that'll be Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap, everybody. That was, as always, a pleasure to play through. I don't really need an excuse to play through this game. If someone just told me, hey, play Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap for us, I'll be like, hell yeah, let's do it. It's one of those games I thoroughly enjoy so much, and I have absolutely no qualms coming back to any time, any day, any place.
A surprisingly 100% run.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, we didn't get every single piece of equipment or weapon, but that's just involving going to specific shops and using the infinite money thing that we showed off earlier, where you can exit out and back in.
I'd say getting all the MacGuffins would be 100% worthy, but then again, I don't know the official...
As much as I love the word MacGuffin, it brings back traumatic memories of trying to play through the X Factor blind.
Oh.
That's the Sonya and Silver Sonic hack, for those of you who don't know. Some of you might have been there when I did my impromptu post-Sonic-a-thon ROM hack showcase, and I had the amazing idea of playing through X Factor for the first time, and I damn near lost my mind trying to play through that game. It is so unrelentingly difficult, and, like, especially the quote-unquote scrap brain part. Oh, that was hell on earth. So there we go. Any closing thoughts, Tanner?
Watching this game has made me go, this is really cool. I also thought you were talking about the British TV music show, which we got here when you said X Factor, and I was like, I did not know you were on X Factor, but no, so it was interesting. This is definitely a game that I had no personal memories with, but even just watching, I was like, this is super cool, and I could, even if I played this now, I would feel nostalgic. It's cool.
Yeah, that's a very great way of putting it, I think. It does bring that wave of nostalgia even to those who don't have direct experience with it, because it's so true to the source material, and it keeps it all intact and gives it this new lick of paint, and makes it really feel like a modern video game, but at the same time still keep it at its core a game from the whimsical period of the late 1980s, early 1990s.
Yep.
Alright,
no,
this
was super cool.
Yeah, it is always a pleasure to play. Can you tell me if Flame is ready to take over now?
I will ask him. Yep, because up next we have Flame and Tom playing Sonic Generations HD. And then later on tonight, we have Stefan playing Jet Set Radio Future.
Alright, looks like we are ready to hand things off then. Thank you all very much for tuning in for the Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap run. And hopefully you'll enjoy what's to come. We've got a pretty star-studded lineup today. So having Jet Set Radio and Sonic and Wonder Boy in the same place, I mean, that's pretty good. So,
that's pretty Sega. That's pretty damn Sega.
It's so Sega. You don't even know. Anyway, my tummy's rumbling like mad, so that's pretty much the indication. Feed me! So, I better oblige before my body attempts to consume itself from the inside out. So, Tanner, thank you very much for joining me.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. And I will see you guys in a couple of days for Dynamite Heady. So, hopefully I'll see some of you there for that. But for now, take care and enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, ciao.